Hello my friends, Stevie B here. It's great to be back on this channel as always. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about Cubasis and SpectraLayers. These are two different products that have completely changed the game for me, and I'm really excited to tell you about them because currently they're both heavily discounted as part of the Cyber Deals promotion. So if you're looking to upgrade from a previous version or you're ready to jump into using SpectraLayers for the first time, you can take advantage of discounts up to 40% off. You can also save up to 50% on Cubasis. This is of course the mobile DAW app for iOS, Android, and Chrome OS, and there is currently a range of in-app purchases for Cubasis that are discounted as well. I'm going to be showing you a few of my favorites in today's video. Let's get right into it. So Cubasis has been around for a while. I'm relatively new to it, but I needed a great solution for mobile recording and just being able to put ideas down on the go because I'm traveling more these days, and the less gear that I got to lug around with me, the better. I have Cubasis installed on both my iPhone and my iPad. Let me share the iPad screen with you here and let's cook something up. Cool, so let's go ahead and load up Cubasis, and let me show you how easy it is to get an idea started. Let's start with some chords. I'll use the Lo-Fi piano. This is a free instrument. I highly recommend downloading it. And by the way, there's a MIDI keyboard in front of me here, but I don't have it connected to the iPad at the moment. And in fact, you don't need a MIDI keyboard to start putting chords down. If we press this keys icon up at the top, we can use the on-screen keyboard, or we can toggle between keys and pads. And these are really great because the closer that you tap to the center of the square, the higher the velocity. If you tap on the edges, it's a little bit softer. So I'll make sure my metronome is on. Let's record something. Here we go. Okay, so while I have this region selected, I'll hit the quantize button, make sure it's tight, and maybe I'll throw down a beat. I got this hip hop kit loaded. Let's also change that to pads view. Okay, so what do we got here? Yeah, that works pretty well. So I'll put a simple beat down, won't worry about it being too messy. Here we go. So if we want to make changes to the MIDI, you just double click the MIDI region. I can zoom in here, I can select whatever I need to select. I can quantize that. Now we also have beat loops. If I press this media button at the top left, come over here to audio and hit drum loops, we've got a great selection. So I can highlight any of these, I can audition them. So say we like this one here. We'll just hold down on this and drag it right into our session like that. And just like you would if you were in Cubase on a computer, you can just drag and duplicate the region. Super easy. Now we even have a time stretching function in Cubasis, which is really helpful. Let's take one of these grooves here. Vinyl Groove 02. It's at 110 BPM, which is too fast for us. We're at 90 BPM, but we can just drag this into the session, hit our stretch button, and we can just drag this region out to where it needs to be. That easy. So I'll duplicate this region out, and I've got this bass guitar loaded up, which sounds pretty nice. And what I absolutely love about this on-screen keyboard is not only can we move around the keys like this, but we can also stretch our view. So I can zoom out or I can zoom in just like that. Okay, let's go ahead and put our bass idea down. Here we go. Now the funny thing is, this is a pretty old iPad. There's not a lot of free space on it, but I do have a much newer iPhone with a lot more space, and I've always wanted to be able to just write and mix ideas on my iPhone. With a reduction in screen size compared to the iPad, I was curious to see if it would be challenging to edit and navigate in the iPhone app for Cubasis. And it is, in fact, incredibly easy and intuitive. And using this adapter here, I'm able to plug in my MIDI keyboard and just start putting ideas down quickly. Another great feature of Cubasis is that we can easily share our sessions from one device to another. So I can send this to my laptop and I can open the session up in Cubase, or I can just airdrop this session right to my iPhone and continue working on it there. In fact, that's what I'll do right now. So again, with an adapter, you can hook up a MIDI keyboard, and this is what it usually looks like when I'm traveling and I feel feel inspired to get an idea started on the road. You can also hook up an audio interface if it's USB powered and record high quality audio, or say like an electric guitar. For this track, I decided to record some guitar and ukulele just using the iPhone microphone, which is actually pretty good. So let me show you how this turned out. I'll share the iPhone screen with you here and we'll do a quick mix. So here's the session on the iPhone. Like I mentioned, I just airdropped this directly from the iPad. I changed up the order of the chords, and I also added a few things. I got 2 ukulele tracks here, a lead acoustic guitar, and this tasty electric piano. And for this, I'm using a DX7 patch from FM Classics. Sounds like this. Everything all together. So it sounds pretty tasty. The first thing I'm going to do is just pan these ukuleles left and right. So let's go ahead and do that. And listening to this lead acoustic guitar here, I feel like this could use a bit of reverb. So we can insert effects on the left side here. Let's hit the channel strip button and add a bit of verb. Sounds beautiful. Nice long tail, just a really small amount in the mix. And maybe we can do something with this DX7 patch. Let's see what ping pong delay sounds like. Perfect. And maybe we can add a bit of compression here to the mix bus. So I could just hit the channel strip settings button on the stereo out. Let's add some compression here. Yeah, that sounds good. So just a little bit of compression there to glue it all together. I can't believe I'm doing this on my iPhone. It's so cool. So I'm going to bring these keys up a little, maybe bass 2. And I think we got a good mix going on here. So as you can see, Cubasis is incredibly easy to use. If you're looking for a portable, lightweight setup combined with powerful software, it really doesn't get any better. All right, so let's switch gears here and talk about SpectraLayers 11. This is Steinberg's groundbreaking spectral audio editing software. The latest version introduces incredible new features, including AI-powered algorithms for speech and music repair. I can't cover all the new features here, there's too many for one video, but I'll highlight a couple of my favorites and I'll show you how this software has become an essential part of my workflow. It's truly mind-blowing what SpectraLayers can do. Okay, so first thing I want to show you here is the stem separation feature. So I got a track here that we're going to use as an example. You can use SpectraLayers as a standalone application, or you can use it directly in Cubase here. All you got to do is select the audio, come up to audio on the top, extensions, and let's choose SpectraLayers. So now we get this visual representation of the music, and you can see here on the right, we have all these modules that we can choose from. Unmixed crowd noise, drums, we can de-reverb. There's tons of stuff that we can do. So to demonstrate this, I'll choose unmixed song. We'll select all the components of our track. We can choose between fast, high, and extreme quality. I'll just keep it on high. Apply. Then Cubase is going to take a minute to analyze the track. Okay, and when it's finished, you can see we've got some different colors here. And I could just choose here on the right whatever stems I want to hear. Let's just solo the drums and the bass. Or the guitar. How crazy is that? It's amazing. So trying a different track here, this is what it sounds like as is.
Nothing good comes easy when you're living day to day.
Let's solo the vocals.
Nothing good comes easy when you're living day to day.
That's crazy. Muting the vocals and the drums. It's actually amazing. It's like I actually have the stems to this track. So why would you want to use a stem separation tool like this? Well, for one thing, breaking down a track into its individual components can provide some insight and understanding into how a professional track is constructed. It really takes the whole idea of referencing to a whole new level. So if you're looking to better understand arrangements and how things are mixed together, I think the stem separation tool can be a really powerful educational tool. But of course, it also comes in handy if you're into doing remixes. I've done a lot of trailer remixing, for example, so being able to pull a lead vocal from a track and then create a new orchestral arrangement underneath it, for something like that, SpectraLayers is really going to come in handy. So there's something else that I use SpectraLayers for regularly, and that is audio cleanup. It's especially useful if you're working with dialogue.
So an issue that I deal with all the time when I record my YouTube videos is that right outside this window that's in front of me here is a ton of traffic. I'm in a busy area of the city. It's actually quite a noisy spot. So there's a few things that help. Like I use a dynamic mic here that doesn't pick up a lot of ambient noise. But still, if I apply a bit of compression to my dialogue, which I do a bit, like let's say we pull up a compressor here. When compression is applied, it raises up the noise floor and all the ambient traffic noise comes up with that. So if I just highlight like a section where I'm not speaking here, you can actually hear it. It's not that bad, but I like to just completely get rid of it. And with SpectraLayers, that's easy. Okay, so here's a snippet of my dialogue. Let's see if we can get rid of this ambient noise in SpectraLayers. And the background noise is pretty apparent. So let's pull up SpectraLayers again. And for this, I'm going to use unmixed noisy speech. And I'll be using this when I edit the dialogue for the video that you're hearing right now. So let's apply this to our little snippet. Okay, so when applied, we can visually see the noise floor. And now it's as easy as just pressing mute and it's gone. Like there's nothing there. So let's see if we can get rid of this ambient noise in SpectraLayers. And without. Let's see if we can get rid of this ambient noise in SpectraLayers. So if you're recording a podcast or you're doing interviews or you record videos for YouTube, like myself, SpectraLayers is an absolutely brilliant tool for audio repair. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure to hit that like button for me and subscribe to this channel to stay up to date on all the latest releases. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and make sure to go to Steinberg.net. Take advantage of those cyber deals. There's a lot of different products that are discounted. My name is Stevie B. This has been a lot of fun, and I'm wishing you guys all happy composing. See you next time.